Hello, today we are going to analyze Game of the Century, the game played between Donald Bunn versus Robert James Fischer. This game has considered the Game of the Century. Let's discuss why it is so famous. Here white is played by Donald, black is being played by black Fischer. White starts with knight goes to f3. Black plays knight f6. White continues pawn to c4. The opening name is English opening, Anglo-Indian defense variation. Black plays pawn to g6. White continues knight goes to c3. Bishop g7. Pawn d4. Castle. White plays bishop to f4. Pawn to d5. Queen b3. D pawn takes on c4. Queen into pawn. Pawn to c6. White plays pawn to e4. Black plays nb d7. White chooses to play rook to d1. Knight b6. Knight is threatening on the queen. So white chosen to save the queen by playing queen to c5. Now black plays bishop to g4. Bishop is pinning this knight for the rook. Here the right idea should be bishop goes to e2 to stop the pin. But white chosen to play bishop goes to g5. Black played a very tricky move. See, this is a hanging piece. What happens if knight takes on this hanging piece? Now black continues with knight into e4. See, this knight is threatening on the queen as well as on bishop. If the white queen can't go to b5 because of pawn, it can't go to a5 because of black queen. So every square to defend this bishop, if queen comes to here, bishop is there. If it goes to here, this bishop and the pawn. So to save this queen, assume he goes to over here. Okay, now queen goes to a5, check to the king, and see threat on this. Knight is already threatening, so double threat. And also queen can be able to trap on this knight. For example, white plays assume it goes to over here, queen to c2. Now what? Bishop into knight, pawn takes, then knight into this. Okay. So knight, that's why white didn't capture this knight. White understood his tactical idea and didn't capture knight into knight. Now instead what white did, he chosen to play queen goes to a3. Now black play, you can see here knight into pawn, c3 knight was defending. So this is the defender. Now what black can do? Knight into c3, b pawn takes. Now there is no defense on this. Knight into pawn. But this paid a wave. This paid a wave for the bishop to attack on the e7 square. Clear way to attack on the bishop e7. What happens if bishop into e7? Say bishop is double threatening the queen and rook. Now queen can't be able to take because there is a defender. Queen at a3. So what black did, he chosen to play queen goes to b6. Now bishop into this. Can you think what is the best combination for the black to continue here? If you found it, good. See, the right idea is bishop into f8. Now queen is under threat. For example, he goes to over here, assume. He can't go to b2 because queen is there. So assume he goes to over here. Now what? Knight into c3. Now white queen takes on this. Now where's the trap? Bishop comes to e4. Bishop pins the queen for the king. Queen can't take it because of this. So that's the beautiful tactic here. So in the main, let's see what happened in the main game. Yeah. In a hurry, why didn't bishop into rook? Because you know the continuation. So what white did is he played bishop goes to c4. Trying to control the diagonals. Now black replied with knight into c3. So here white chosen, he didn't capture the knight instantly. What he did is bishop goes to c5, threatening on the queen. So here how black continued. Rook goes to rf e8 check. King goes to over here. Now can you think of a good idea with the black? How about this knight into rook? Okay, let's see what happened in the main game. He chosen to play bishop goes to e6. Okay, for example, bishop into e6. Now what black can do? Queen b5. Check to the king. Now he comes to here. Checkmate. So if he goes to g8, knight. And now windmill. Okay, so like this maybe. So king can't take because of knight. Rook must take this. Checkmate. Knight goes to e2. Checkmate. That's a beautiful trap. So let's see in the main game what happened. In the main game, white has chosen to take on the queen. If you see here, after bishop goes to c5, rook gives a check, king moves. Now because of bishop goes to e6, he's sacrificing his queen, black queen. See this one, bishop into queen. So in the main game, black has sacrificed his queen. Why is sacrificing? To get the control on this square. Diagonal. Diagonal as well, this file. So in hurry, white has taken bishop into queen, assuming he got a free queen. Now black continuation. Bishop into c4 check. Now he can't be able to come to e1 because of rook. So his only possibility is king goes to g1. Now what? Can you think of idea? Easy one. Found good. Knight goes to e2 is the right idea. Now windmill. King goes to f1. Again knight goes to c. Knight goes to d4. Discount check from the bishop. And again king goes back. Now again this time knight goes to c3. Check again. King goes back to g1. Now knight into rook. And subsequently he can checkmate. Oh, okay. Knight into rook can be taken. Here black has chosen to first threat on the queen. Pawn into bishop. Queen can't take the knight because of g7. So he played queen goes to b4. Now what? Rook goes to a4. Queen into b6 was played. Queen can't take the rook because of knight defense. Next, black chosen to play knight into d1. White chosen to play pawn to h3 because no subsequent moves are coming like rook e1, but knight is there. Okay, maybe this idea. So pawn to h3, just keeping a way to escape from the threats of the black pieces. So what black has done here? Any idea? I'm guessing like rook to here, knight defense. Okay, here black has chosen to play rook into a2. Definitely this rook into a2. Now king goes to h2. Knight into pawn is what chosen. Knight is threatening rook. White chosen to play re1. Black replaces the rook into rook. Knight takes. Okay, knight takes one idea. But here white applied knight f6. Bishop blocks. So not a danger threat. Bishop blocks. Now white continues with knight into rook. Now as a black, can you think of idea? Here I think you can choose re1 because of this knight. Okay. Instead of re1, black has chosen to play bishop goes to d5, trying to threat on the g2 square. White chosen to play knight goes to f3. Black plays, I think bishop. Let's see in the main game what happened. Knight goes to e4 is what played. Trying to control this square. Queen b8. Pawn advance. Pawn h4. Pawn h5. Knight goes to e5. Maybe white's idea is like this. King goes to g7 just to escape this bishop. Now black king is trying to come out of this pinning line. King g1. Knight is controlling f2, so rook check. Okay. Here, this check. King goes to f1. Likewise, you can see all the black pieces are trying to focus on the white king. So it's a combination build now here. Knight g3 check. King goes to e1. Rook is controlling the second rank. So what? Now we should give back-to-back checks, like maybe bishop f2. Bishop f2 can be played. Here, black has chosen bishop goes to b4 check. King over here. Now again, this bishop check. Bishop check. You can see diagonals. It's a good game to understand. And also rook is there. To understand how you effectively you can use the bishops. King here. You can think of idea on this. I think bishop d2. Okay, here black has chosen knight goes to e2. Only move. King b1. Now as a black, knight goes to c3 check. And this knight is controlling d1, controlling b1. So mate in one. Rook goes to c2. King can't take the rook because bishop defense. Now checkmate. So this is how black has sacrificed his queen and trapped the opponent king. This is how it become game of the century. Thanks for listening.